Subway, eat fresh.
Remember to click like, subscribe, the bell notification, and whatever else YouTube has you clicking on to support us. What's up, everyone? I am the Kaiju no Kami from the Toku and Animation News Network, and today I am re-reviewing the original Godzilla. 10 years ago, I launched this network with a review of the original Godzilla, a film that was about the horror of nuclear devastation and what it brought onto Japan. A film that kickstarted an entire genre of storytelling. A film that would launch a franchise that has been going strong for over 70 years. When I initially tackled this review, I was just learning how to do video editing, figuring out how to work my audio, and edited it on Windows Movie Maker. A mistake I quickly rectified by my third review. It also took me a while to learn how to emote on camera and not sound so monotonous. My name is the Kaiju no Kami, and tonight we're going to be reviewing the original 1954 Godzilla. Soon a fishing boat goes missing in the same vicinity, and the people of Odo Island find themselves unable to catch fish. One of the elders believes it means that an ancient monster of the sea named Godzilla has returned. Thus, I have decided what better way to celebrate the 10th anniversary of my channel than taking another look at this masterpiece. Or is it a masterpiece? Perhaps I was foolishly blinded back then by nostalgia. Either way, it is time to take another look at this film. For those of you who did not see the original review, Godzilla was the brainchild of a Toho executive named Tomoyuki Tanaka. Tanaka really wanted to make a movie about the horrors of war, but was unable to do so as Japan had outlawed movies from doing such. Therefore, he took advantage of the giant monster genre, which was incredibly popular in the United States, and hired Ishiro Honda to help write the film on top of directing it. Back to my question, is Godzilla a masterpiece? Watch to find out. The characters and plot. Set 7 years after -1, Godzilla is the story about a cast of characters who are trying to stop a giant monster created by the A-bomb from destroying Japan. The film kicks off with a ship mysteriously blowing up in the waters close to Odo Island. This introduces us to our core trio, Dr. Kyohei Yamane,
水爆の洗礼を受けながらもなおかつ生命を保っているゴジラを何をもって抹殺しようというのですか
his daughter Emiko,
もう黙って見てはいられません。私は喜んで裏切り者になります。
and Emiko's lover, Hideto Ogata.
芹沢さんが見送りに来るなんてよほどのことだな。めったに実験室から出たこともない人が最後のお別れに来たつもりかもしれない。
まあ、どうして？
They are played by Seven Samurais Takashi Shimura, Momoko Kochi, and Akira Takarada, who would become a mainstay actor in the Godzilla franchise until his passing in 2022.
ゴジラこそ我々日本人の上に今の覆いかぶさっている水爆そのものではありませんか。
その水爆の放射能を受けながらなおかつ生きている生命の秘密をなぜ解こうとはしないの。
僕はただ科学者として研究を続けているに過ぎません。
だけど、もしもそれが恐ろしい目的に使用されたとし
Days later, Odo Island finds itself engulfed in a thunderstorm, which also seems to bring an unwelcome guest with it, who ravages the island, or so they claim.
嘘じゃないんです。暗くてよく分かんなかったけど確かに生き物です。
うちの壊れ方、ヘリコプターの潰され方など上から押しつぶされたとしか思えないのであります。
One of the islanders, Shinkichi, loses his family in the storm and is practically adopted by Dr. Yamane. Anyway, Yamane and a bunch of others investigate the damage of the island, discovering high levels of radiation in the remains of a trilobite.
エミコ、ごらん。トリロバイトだ。
A trilobite is a sea creature that went extinct millions of years ago. Shortly after, a giant dinosaur monster makes his presence known to them, putting everyone into a panic. Yamane eventually reports his findings, and the monster is identified as Godzilla, as that is what the inhabitants of Odo Island proclaimed him to be. Soon, Japan finds itself being attacked by Godzilla, and it is up to Yamane to find a solution to stop him as Tokyo burns.
And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire.
Before all of this happened, Emiko had met up with her fiancé, a former Nazi scientist named Dr. Daisuke Shirazawa, with the intention of telling him about her true feelings towards Ogata. Shirazawa, played by another actor who would become a staple of the franchise, Akihito Hirata, reveals his greatest achievement to Emiko. He forces her to promise she will never speak about his oxygen destroyer to anyone, but since promises are made to be broken, she folds under pressure. And from there, a plot is devised to use the environment-devastating weapon on Godzilla.
オキシジェンディストロイヤーを使わせてほしいんです。
なんだオキシジェンデストロイヤーって。
芹沢さん、私、あなたとのお約束を破りました。
Overall, the plot is wonderfully told with great pacing and an interesting set of characters that are well developed. It isn't perfect, as Ogata is a pretty generic, by-the-book love interest. However, Emiko clearly prefers the honest good guy over the mysterious introverted scientist, so it works. One of the things I really find interesting though is how Yamane wants to keep Godzilla alive for study, while Shirazawa has made the ultimate weapon to destroy him. Both are scientists, but both are completely opposite to each other. Shirazawa is also a weird individual who lets his ego get the best of him. He claims he does not want people to know about the oxygen destroyer because it will be used for evil. However, he doesn't let that stop him from still making it. It adds a taste of Oppenheimer to him. Emiko is a bit of a mixed bag. As a character, she is quite one-dimensional. Yet, she is the plot device to get the oxygen destroyer into the hands of the Japanese government. The acting may not always be top-notch, with the exception being Shimura, but they all get the job done efficiently to make a very compelling story. There is a lot of wonderful symbolism involved in the film even without Godzilla. The ship at the beginning that is set aflame by Godzilla represents the Lucky Dragon No. 5. The Lucky Dragon No. 5 was a tuna boat that was caught in a hydrogen bomb test America launched in March of 1954. It is said that tragedy is what initially influenced Tanaka to want to make a moving picture about the atomic bombs. In addition, we have a heart-wrenching scene of a woman gripping her children as Tokyo burns during Godzilla's attack.
もう、お父ちゃまのそば行くのよ。ねえ、もうすぐ、もうすぐ、お父ちゃまのところ行くのよ。
The monster! Given it is the first of its kind, there is only one monster. Godzilla. Or Gojira, depending on your preference. Godzilla is meant to be a representation of the atomic bombs that were dropped on Japan. He is an unstoppable force that ravages Japan throughout the film, and I love how his appearance is slowly built up. At the start, we see the Echo Maru set aflame without knowing how or why it happened. Then we have some Odo Islanders talking about a sea monster they used to worship. And not doing so is why the fish around the island are disappearing.
ゴジラかもしんね
またじいさまのゴジラか。今時そんなものいるもんかよ。
え。昔からの言い伝えばかにすると、今におめえたちは真っ向ゴジラの餌食にしなきゃなんねえぞ。
Next, there's the storm. All this leads to the reveal of Godzilla over a mountain on the island, and yet we still don't see his entire body. It isn't until he first shows up on the mainland that we get to see him in his full glory. The development of Godzilla's reveal is slow and very gratifying. The payoff is well worth the slow burn, as is his complete onslaught of Tokyo 2/3 into the film. It perfectly embodies the horror Japan felt from World War II, a horror they did not deserve regardless of their position during it. I also like the mythology that he is theorized to be a surviving dinosaur who was then mutated by the hydrogen bombs. The effects and music. The effects and music are stellar. The effects were supervised by Eiji Tsuburaya, who would become one of Japan's biggest film pioneers. Tsuburaya became enamored with movies at a young age, even buying a projector just to take it apart to learn how all of its functions worked. He would also go on to help make propaganda films for Japan during World War II. This would help him make the effects of Godzilla look as realistic as the technology at the time allowed. Little did he know he was helping create one of cinema's greatest icons. The miniature work is utterly stunning with a wide array of buildings based on Tokyo that bring the city to life in toy form. Blurs are sometimes noticeable, but they don't diminish the enjoyment of the film one bit. I actually think the bigger issue is with the varying Godzilla designs between the actual suit actor Haruo Nakajima wore and a puppet that was used for major close-up shots of Godzilla. They don't appear fully identical, and some of the facial movements of the puppet can look a bit weird, like in the sequence when he is trying to take a bite at a time. Composite shots are solid, especially one sequence where there are newscasters on a tower that Godzilla decimates.
もう退治することもありません。我々の命もどうなるか、ますます近づいてまいりました。いよいよ最後です。
Tokyo in Flames is an enlightening sight as the bright white flames burn across a background of blackness. On the other hand, we do get an occasional awkward cut as seen here.
今日ははっきりお父さんに了解してもらおうと思う。いいですね。
The music was orchestrated by Akira Ifukube, who created a theme for the film that would become a defining characteristic. It's a theme that is still being used in the films today. The music enhances the sequences occurring on screen in addition to being blissful on the ears. A movie soundtrack can make or break a film, as I've seen great movies ruined by a terrible score, while bad movies can be highly entertaining thanks to a powerful symphony of energy. Fortunately, Godzilla gets the best of both worlds by telling a great story with a wonderful harmony, creating one of history's greatest films. There is a reason this franchise just celebrated its 70th birthday. Godzilla is a masterpiece that has rarely been rivaled. If you have somehow not seen this movie yet, now is the perfect time to do so. Until next time, bye!